The Xbox Series X and Series S release date is either nudging closer or gone, depending on when you watch this. Here are 10 useful accessories to consider. The Xbox Series X and Series S are the latest consoles from Microsoft, and with them comes a new dawn of 1440p or 4K gaming, depending on which you buy. Either way, expect faster loading times and a generally snappier experience, especially if you came from an Xbox One OG like me. Plus a whole host of other cool stuff I'll talk about in greater detail in my full review. Anyway, bought a Series X or Series S? Well, here are 10 useful accessories to help you get the best from them and enjoy those lazy gaming hours to the fullest. Before that though, this video is sponsored by boostgaming.com, the place to buy all digital currencies and subscriptions, which come from the source and are therefore 100% legit. No need to worry about lost codes or being banned. Awesome. Use the link in the description as it also helps the channel. A new telly or monitor can make a huge difference to picture quality, especially now that the Xbox Series X can manage 4K and or up to 120 frames per second. Even the cheaper Series S can manage 1440p, which equates to 77% more pixels on screen. LG, Samsung and Sony make some quality television offerings that will display 120 frames per second at 4K as it's more easily known. Meanwhile, for a monitor, there's also the option of Acer, Alienware, AOC, Asus, and Dell. Bear in mind you get one HDMI 2.1 cable in the box, which is necessary for 4K 120Hz gaming and 8K 60Hz. Not that many of you will have an 8K capable display, as they are both rare and expensive, and there's barely any 8K content out there. In any case, that resolution would be a nightmare for the fastest computer money can buy, let alone the admittedly powerful Xbox Series X. Which is better, more pixels or more frames per second? Well, ideally both. Some people prefer the detail of 4K, others prefer the extra smoothness of 60 and 120 frames per second. What I will say is that games capable of 4K 120 frames per second will see a graphics quality drop to compensate, as the Xbox Series X is powerful, but not that powerful. The Xbox Series X uses a proprietary Seagate storage expansion card solid state drive, SSD for short, which actually works out around the same price as a third-party equivalent. It's not cheap at £220, however if you want to bolster your storage and maintain the same fast load times as the internal SSD, this is the only way of making that happen. Alternatively, you get 1TB of speedy SSD storage out of the box if you went for the Series X, and 512GB in the Series S. This will fill up, especially if you play Call of Duty, but luckily you can connect a cheaper external hard disk and store your games there until you need them, at which point you can bring them forward to the SSD. Going this route means you can get multiple terabytes of space for less money than the official SSD card, and the wait time to move a game is said to be bearable. I tend to use Western Digital or Seagate, as they've always been reliable for me, but there are other options such as Samsung, the company that makes some class-leading SSDs for PC. Video coming from the Xbox Series X and Series S, it might be worth upgrading from standard TV speakers to something with surround sound, or if you need to keep the noise down, a headset. The standard Microsoft options are okay, yes, but it makes more sense to go for something from a third party, such as HyperX or Turtle Beach. Xbox One accessories work on the next gen Xbox, so you may not need to upgrade at all. I personally use the HyperX Cloud 2 7.1 headphones, as they offer decent sound quality from the earphones and microphone, as well as a snug fit and quality finish. Your budget and requirements may differ. I rather like the design of the new Xbox Series X, but then I did buy a PC case like it way before the Xbox was released. Maybe Microsoft has shares in Silverstone. Anyway, the new Xbox will get warm just like any PC, so I'm unsure how well a vinyl wrap will last. But I have to be honest, I'm mighty tempted by the options, including the extreme skins offerings. Gold or orange for me, cheers. The Xbox Series X and Series S come with one controller as standard, but if you crave a second, you have a lot of options, including the adaptive controller designed for those with limited mobility. There's also the Elite 2, which now gets a 1-year guarantee, and that may come in handy given some of the reliability reports and how much it costs. I also like the 8-bit Do SN30 Pro for retro games and the Razer Kishi or Moga XP5X Plus for playing Xbox on the go. Watch my Xbox Beta app video for more on that. As for a keyboard and mouse, well, apparently it's up to the developers to choose whether there is implementation. So some games will comply, some won't. It's good to know those that did on the Xbox One will at least work on the Series X and Series S. Another useful extra for your controller is the rechargeable battery. I personally choose a third-party offering as these typically include 2 batteries of higher capacity and a 2-slot charger, but the first-party solution has the benefit of being from a reputable source. Wireless connections can be problematic, so it makes sense to go wired. To do this, you need an Ethernet cable from your Wi-Fi router to the new Xbox. These cables are cheap, just pick one that has decent reviews and is the right length. If your router is too far or you cannot run a cable directly to the Xbox for another reason, try out a POWERLINE adapter. These plugs basically use the electrical wiring of your home to transport a data connection, and they have proven incredibly reliable for me, basically the same speed too. Not all homes can support them depending on the circuit, so buy from somewhere you can send them back just in case. Assuming everything works, you will need a short Ethernet cable from one of the POWERLINE adapter plugs to your new Xbox, and another to go from the other POWERLINE adapter to the router. POWERLINE adapters with a pass-through plug are great, as it means you can keep using that socket for something else, although they do cost a bit more. TP-Link is the brand I've used for years, but there are others. Honestly, there are so many games you can stream on Xbox Game Pass that it seems ridiculous not to give it a go. I actually signed up for £1, just remember to set a calendar reminder before the month is up, so you aren't charged for any additional months if you dislike the service. If there is no deal, you can just use boostgaming.com, link in the description, or buy from Microsoft directly through the website or console. The Ultimate Game Pass includes Xbox Live, so you can combine 2 payments into one. And that's it for this Xbox Series X and Series S video. Subscribe for more gaming and motoring content, and feel free to check out the back catalogue, or maybe suggest an accessory in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, bye.